Welcome back. A lot of focus right now on the Electoral College in November. The road to 270 electoral votes. John King is here at the Magic Wall. It's a very, very delicate road, shall we say.
It is. And you just heard Bernie Sanders making the case that in the polls right now, he's even more competitive against Donald Trump than Hillary Clinton. Well, he's right about that. Whether you're Bernie Sanders or Hillary Clinton, if you're the Democrats, first you start by looking at this map, and Donald Trump for that matter. This is Obama versus Romney, the re-election campaign in 2012. Well, I want to focus on this instead. This is our CNN 2016 battleground map, and you see the yellow states. Those are states that we have by consensus here determined are toss-up states. If you see a light blue state like Michigan, that means that we lean it blue. Pennsylvania's in that category. You see a light red state here, Georgia, we're leaning it red. Arizona, same thing. Now, if you're a Republican in Arizona or Georgia, you're saying you're crazy. Those are solid red states. If you're a Democrat in Michigan or Pennsylvania, you're saying you're crazy. Those are solid blue states. But we just given Trump's appeal, given the demographics, and given the possibility of Latino vote here, higher African-American vote here, this is the way we start the map. So if you're inside the Trump campaign, the Clinton campaign, or for that matter, the Sanders campaign, if he can pull off the miracle, one thing Democrats say is, we don't think so. This one's probably going to go to them. That's what they think. Because of the Latino vote, Trump's issues, they think they get that one. Also, inside the Democratic campaigns, they would say, well, Wisconsin, we're going to get back. If on our battleground map, if Democrats could hold Nevada, and hold Wisconsin, then if you're Secretary Clinton or Bernie Sanders, Florida would get you over the top. That's why this map is so competitive, so hard. The hill is steeper, if you will, given the last two elections for Republicans. If Donald Trump could hold Florida, that makes it a more interesting map. But then Donald Trump has to go in. Well, let's start over this way. Donald Trump would have to win Ohio. He would have to win North Carolina, which Romney carried in 2012 after Obama carried in 2008. So where are we now? I didn't do that on purpose. We're at a tie, 253 to 253. This is how a competitive election could play out. So where does the state of Virginia go? One of the classic swing states in American politics, has been trending blue in recent years. If the Democrats can hold that, now you're up to 266. Pick one, and you get to the finish line. So can Donald Trump hold Iowa? George W. Bush had some success. Barack Obama won it twice. If Trump could somehow take Iowa, then there you are, 266, 259, and we come down to two smaller states. Now, Democrats will tell you they believe Colorado is coming their way. Traditionally been a battleground state. The Denver suburbs, the Latino vote could be key. This could come down here or could come down here. What if Donald Trump can win New Hampshire? Then you're at 266, 263. Again, it's a hypothetical conversation, but here, Colorado in this circumstances decides the presidency. And so it's this is one hypothetical. You could do thousands of these as you play them out. But if you're inside the campaigns right now, if you're the Trump campaign, you're starting by looking here. You know you need to do better business up here in the Rust Belt. If Donald Trump can change, for example, the state of Michigan, if he can make that red, it helps his odds. If he can make Pennsylvania red, it helps his odds. There are a lot of places here. Secretary Clinton thinks she can play as well. Bernie Sanders just noting he thinks he's stronger now. Some Democrats are dubious it would play out that way. But inside the campaigns now in May, especially in the Trump campaign, because he has it locked up, this is what he is studying. Where am I strongest? What are my demographics? What have I learned in the primaries that I now want to test in a general election atmosphere? And if you're the Democratic campaign, and the Clinton campaign, she was campaigning in Virginia the other day. That election was a long time ago. They think she's going to be the nominee. They're starting to move around this map as well, not only state by state, but sometimes where you are in a state. What issue you're talking about is appealing to a demographic.
From Hillary Clinton's standpoint, since the Democrats won the presidency the last two times, does she play defense or go on offense?
Well, she's essentially, it depends on how you want to look at it. She can go on offense, meaning call Donald Trump a bully, call Donald Trump demeaning to women. Well, why? That's on offense, right? Because you're defending the Pennsylvania suburbs. You're defending the Philadelphia suburbs, the Cleveland suburbs. You're trying to get suburban women. You're trying to compete again in North Carolina. You're trying to keep Virginia by winning suburban women just outside of Washington, D.C. So she's on offense on issues. She's on defense when it comes to protecting this map. That's how the Clinton campaign looks at it. If you start with the fact that President Obama won 332 electoral votes last time after winning a higher number in 2008, if you're the Democrats, you think you don't even have to protect it all. But you start looking at this map and you think, protect 270, try to protect 300. That's why the Democrats start, in the old days, if you'd call it, they're on the high ground. And Donald Trump it's a steep climb because he has to change some states that have gone blue for a long time, starting with Ohio, which is a traditional swing state, but he has to change some states that have voted blue for a long time, since the late 1980s, to get there. Impossible? No. A steep climb? Absolutely.
He says he can do it. He keeps saying it in the last few days repeatedly.